Good morning, and I hope this finds you well. I would like to share my reflection this morning following my last two sessions on interpersonal conflict. That is, conflict between two or more people, as well as I also spoke about intrapersonal conflict, which is conflict within a person. Now, we want to look this morning and reflect on forgiveness as a conflict resolution strategy. So, what is forgiveness? Forgiveness is a conscious, deliberate decision that one makes to release the feelings of anger, resentment, vengeance towards a person who has hurt you. And you do this regardless of whether they actually deserve your forgiveness or not. Now, forgiveness, we need to understand, it can be forgiveness of yourself as well as forgiveness of others. And so, even as I reflect this morning, how many things have I held on to against myself for a long time and I've not had the capacity to forgive myself? And you see, if I don't have the capacity to forgive myself, then of course, definitely, it becomes a challenge to have the same capacity to forgive others. And so I can only give that which I have. If I forgive myself, if I have the capacity to forgive myself, then I will be able to give that to others. Actually, when I think about forgiveness, I see it as a gift that I give to myself or I give to others, whether they deserve it or not. So, how does forgiveness affect you and me? Number one, it brings long seasons of anger and bitterness into every other relationship that we are in. And we find that we project the feelings of anger, bitterness, resentment towards others. And we are always suspicious about, so what intentions do they have? So you never really thrive in the relationships that you have. Number two, you cannot even enjoy the daily happy experiences because there is always something underlying that is ready to be triggered because of the unforgiveness. Unfortunately, people get into anxiety as well as depression. And of course, with unforgiveness, our lives lack meaning or purpose. And we lose the value of, having enriched connectedness with others. Now, what do we need to do to understand then why it is important to forgive others? My dear friends, thinking about forgiveness, we've been forgiven. And so because we've been forgiven, it's very important that we forgive others as well. I can imagine the many things that I do that are not right in my thoughts, in my deeds, in my plans that are not positive. And yet, people around me have forgiven me. God has also forgiven me. So who am I to hold a grudge against another? Not easy, but for yourself, you can do it. Number two, forgiveness is for our benefit. It's lifting up that burden and putting it down and, walking free from it. And someone has mentioned in the past, and I found this phrase interesting. Unforgiveness is like drinking, poison yourself while you're waiting for the other person that hurt you to die. It doesn't happen. You end up really in a lot of pain. And when we forgive, then our thinking process begins to change. And of course, we have physical and spiritual wellness. It's a free gift, free to give and free to receive. Forgiveness is also empowering because as you think about it, it's like some degree of power that you had let go begins to come back. So, what steps should I take to forgive? It's very important that you forgive when you really get to know and identify the source of your hurt. Probably the person you think you're angry about is not the person, it's about yourself. So you need to really get to understand and identify what the source of hurt is. Number 2, it's good to acknowledge what emotions you're feeling. Sometimes we say, I feel bad, but you're not really specific about what you're feeling. For instance, you can say, I feel sad about 1, 2, 3. I'm experiencing anger, and the reason behind this is 1, 2, 3. I feel jealous. I have hatred towards a person, and the cause of this is, 1, 2, 3. It's very important for you and I to forgive ourselves and let go. Because there's a role you played in the conflict, whether it's within yourself or with another person. We have to learn, number 4, to have compassion and begin to view the situation from the other person's perspective. So why could it, what was the reason behind the person doing what they did to you and I? Or why did I do whatever it is that I did? And learn to let go and forgive yourself. It's important for us to, forgive without any strings attached. And that is forgiving unconditionally. Not expecting anything in return. And even as we forgive, the 6th step is to be grateful for the freedom and the peace that we get, even as we forgive. Lastly, we need to love again. Let's love again. The people who have hurt us, they've hurt us for whatever reason it was. But it doesn't mean that we end up in that, endless pit where we don't love again. So, as I end my reflection, some questions that I need to think about this morning. Am I really a forgiving person? Do I have the capacity to forgive myself and forgive others? Number 2, what is it that makes it so hard for me to forgive people who have wronged me? Probably it could be my past experience, repeated hurt and pain. And so what do I need to do about that? Do I need to adjust my boundaries and, begin to work on me? 3, what can help me to begin to forgive once more? Probably think about the importance of forgiveness. It's not for me. It's not for the other person. It's for me to learn to forgive and to let go. And finally, so who are the people that I need to forgive? Who are they? Do I need, first of all, to forgive myself? Followed by the people that probably I have held on to a lot of pain and resentment. And so as we begin this week, let's choose to forgive and to let go. May God bless you all as you experience the freedom of forgiveness. Have a good day.